Johnny Pacheco Latin Jazz Music, Latin Music and Jazz Festival is back. That's right. This is an annual event that provides performance and learning opportunities to young musicians studying music throughout New York City. And each year, the festival provides more than 250 students the opportunity to perform in front of a live audience. Here now to tell us more about this year's festival, we welcome the festival's producer and artistic director, Allan Molnar. Hello and welcome back.
Thank you, Rhina. It's a pleasure to be back.
Absolutely. This is such a wonderful event. And if we could just share with everyone, because we actually participated in it last year, and the beauty of this festival, aside from offering these students this wonderful opportunity, is the technology that's backing it up. But let's just share a little bit about the actual festival itself first.
Well, the festival runs from Wednesday through Friday of next week, the 18th through the 20th, and we have 3 days of performances of schools from the greater city, New York City area. And in the evening, we have, on Thursday evening and Friday evening, we have special guests. And the young ensembles, the student ensembles are always phenomenal. Our colleagues out in the schools working in the system and teaching music and working really hard do an amazing job, and it's a great chance to showcase that.
So how do you choose who is going to be part of the festival? Let's start with the actual live performance that's taking place at Lehman. How do you choose, how do you select the students that are going to perform?
Well, we try to bring some new bands in, every year, and we have a group of bands that have come back on numerous occasions. So we're outreaching from our music department to more and more high schools and learning more about new programs that are popping up, and we want to do everything we can to give them an opportunity to put their great work on a big stage.
And you also do that together with legendary musicians as well.
We do. And this year we have two really special events. On Thursday night we have a very, very special event where we'll be honoring the legacy of Mr. Billy Strayhorn. It's the centennial of his birth. And we have members of his family coming to be with us that night, and the performer is Paul Carlin, and La Rumba is a Lovesome Thing. It's a project where Mr. Carlin took a bunch of really great Strayhorn tunes and gave them an Afro-Cuban music spin perfect for our festival. It's really a masterpiece. So that's Thursday. And Friday we have Lou Marini and Larry Willis, who are legendary jazz performers, superstars of jazz, who've played with everyone from Barbra Streisand to Blood, Sweat and Tears and Saturday Night Live, you name it. They're great musicians, great people. And they'll be performing with the Lehman College Jazz Ensemble.
That's awesome. That's amazing. That's amazing. And just leading into this, right, not only do you have these legendary performers, the technology, the world that we live in, okay, aside from BronxNet actually broadcasting the webcast, right, which I remember last year what we did was we actually, instead of taking PSAs, we would actually go to the jazz festival that was being shot live, where people all over the world could actually be streaming it. They can stream it live as it's happening. But what I noticed is this year you've taken it a step further, and there's some type of interaction via Skype. Involvement with musicians and conferences. Explain how that's going to work, because that is so fascinating.
It's a lot of fun. I designed the festival as sort of a hybrid of a brick and mortar and virtual jazz festival, something that's really unique to our festival. And certainly we stream, but we've tried to have a variety of virtual events come in. For example, we've had guest clinicians critique bands in real time via Skype from as far away as Hong Kong. And last year I performed a piece on vibraphone with the Kansas State University Latin Jazz Ensemble, who Skyped in from Manhattan, Kansas. That's the other Manhattan.
Right.
And this year we're exploring the idea of virtual audience. Now we know that there's a television audience for BronxNet and there's a streaming audience, but it's still a little bit of an abstract concept. When the students are there performing on stage to an audience here. And by the way, we have around 1,100 people coming to the festival, students from schools in the city.
Wow! So you have 1,100 people that are coming in live to the actual stage, and then we're not even counting all of the locations that are going to have involvement in different parts of the world, right? You mentioned Hong Kong, you mentioned Kansas, but there's more.
And what we want to do this year is to pick at least a couple of schools and get them up on the big screen on stage as a virtual audience. So we'll have the Skype camera aiming at a group of students, and a little bit of interaction. The interaction will be, me talking to the director and getting them to talk a little bit about their program, wherever it happens to be, and then to have one of the students introduce the next act on the next performers on the Pacheco stage here in New York. So we're pushing the envelope as much as we can, but it's a real excellent, or exciting, I should say,
it's very exciting. It's a very exciting exploration, especially in the world we live in. And just the fact that you're able to, because you didn't you mention something about synchronizing with other musicians in other locations while the band is playing live on stage? Well,
we've done some of that. Last year with the Kansas State University jazz ensemble, Latin jazz ensemble, where we're playing here, or a performer is playing here while they're playing and Skyping in with their image on the big screen. It's kind of a high wire act, but it's really exciting, and many of the same aspects that you always have when you're in the same room performing with musicians really resonate with this idea too, because you're still working on the arrangement, deciding on a solo order and tempo of the piece and taking cues, and all those kinds of things still happen, so it is the world we live in.
It's amazing. It's awesome. And obviously you have these relationships in different parts of the world, which was going to be my next question, is how do you decide who's going to participate?
Well, I started this project about 11 years ago actually, called the Alive Project, Accessible Live Internet Video Education. It's not a business, it's not anything like that. It's a group of like-minded people who want to push the envelope with technology and education, just education period. So we started utilizing various video conferencing options that were available way back then, and the first virtual performance I did like that was in 2004 when I was in Stockholm presenting at a conference, and the KSU Latin Jazz Ensemble was in Manhattan. We did it over the ocean,
Nice. That is so cool. Nice. And it's nice that it worked too.
Yeah.
Because technology, can be a little tricky. And so, do you want to go over the calendar really quick, because they're wrapping us up, and I wanted to make sure that everybody knows all the options they have for the event.
Yeah. Well, we have from Wednesday through Friday during the day, we have all the school ensembles that are performing from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. On Thursday and Friday night from 7:30, we go live with the guest performers, and we have one extra very special thing that is an indirect outreach for the festival. I want to outreach directly to the Bronx community. So I'll be at Lexa Bar and Grill here in the Bronx.
On Wednesday?
On Wednesday night, yes. On Wednesday night at 7:30 with Lou Marini and Terry Silverlight and Lee Marvin. I'll be playing Vibes. So that's another kind of indirect connection to the festival.
It's actually the preparation for the big kaboom.
Yeah, we want to practice a little too and play some jazz together. And the club owner there loves jazz. And by the way, his name is Pacheco as well,
nice.
Gino Pacheco, so that's great karma.
It's very great karma. Thank you so much. Thank you for all that you're doing, and thank you for sharing it with us here on Open, and the wonderful work that you're doing, not only with the students, just with the world in general.
It's a real thrill to be connected with so many great people. BronxNet has been a big part of the festival, and we love working with them, and we have partners like the Jazz Education Network and Coastal Percussion, and all these wonderful people. I feel very thrilled and very blessed to be able to work with all these wonderful people, so it's a pleasure.
Awesome. It's a beautiful thing to do what you love and make magic.
Thank you, Rhina.
Thank you. All right, once again, this year's Johnny Pacheco Latin Music and Jazz Festival is happening Wednesday, November 18th through Friday, November 20th, and the morning session is all 3 days from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and then again Thursday and Friday evening from 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Happening at the Lovinger Theater at Lehman College, located at 250 Bedford Park Boulevard West in the Bronx, and for more information, you can visit lehman.edu/jazzfest. And right now, we're going to actually take a special preview of this year's festival. Let's take a look.